Hello and welcome back to another piping hot episode of Mirchi and Mocha, where the masala is real, the mocha is strong, and the opinions even stronger.
Oof, buckle up those though, because today's episode is not for the faint-hearted. We are talking bitch versus bichari. That's right, society's two favorite boxes for women.
Either you're the Bechari, the sweet, suffering soul who adjusts, sacrifices, and never complains, or you're the bitch, the one who dares to say no, speaks her mind, and refuses to shrink.
But what if you're neither or both, or just a whole powerful woman who doesn't fit in any one's damn box?
Hmm. Today, we're unpacking the double standards, calling out the conditioning, and sharing our own bitch moments, the good, the messy, and the gloriously unapologetic.
So grab your chai or your cocktail and let's stir this pot, shall we?
Let's go, Mirchi and Mocha style.
Yes. So I know we did not talk too much about this topic, but, or we can talk about it on and off, right? So, have you seen that meme which says, I would rather be a bitch than a bichari? And it's very thought provoking, right? So, when you hear that, what do you mean by bitch? And what do you mean by bichari?
I think, based on the way society is conditioned today, a bichari is this sweet, innocent girl who never wants anything, who always is happy with the little things that she gets, happy in serving others, happy in sacrificing and like the never ending sacrifices of her own personal self. The perfect mother who's always ready to like give more than she receives. And that's the quintessential bichari who will, no matter what you say to her, she is a pillar of calm and will never respond back. And that, in my head at least, is the perfect image of a bichari. What do you
Okay.
think about, like, what do you think of a when you hear the term bitch for a woman? What's your essential thought,
So
Preeti?
anything who is not conforming to the convention idea of a woman, um, if you are being selfish, I mean, not selfish, but if you are standing up for yourself, if you say no, if you say this is not okay, if you say I want more, so all those things matter.
Yep. Yep.
And that's
Yep.
what, yeah, to me, that's what a bitch is. Okay. That
Absolutely.
just because you're asking for your own rights, you are not accepting,
Yep.
then you're not a good person or you're not a good woman, you know?
Absolutely. And I feel like that's how society has conditioned us. And that's not just like argumentative men or extremely conservative men talking about it. Even if you think about the themes in a lot of movies over the last several decades, right? There is
Yes.
this whole like perfectly perfect vision of like a घरेलू प्यारी सी दुलारी सी लड़की who is like everyone's favorite, everyone wants.
Yes.
She is the protagonist. And why is she the protagonist? Because she will tolerate anything from
Or
anyone.
she's wearing
She is,
Punjabi dress, she's not
yes.
wearing revealing clothes. I think it's not only physical, it's not only the saying no, but also the physical looks. If
Yep.
you're looking more modern, you're a bitch. If
Yep.
you're looking confident, you're a bitch. If you are being confident and aggressive, you're a bitch. So
Yep.
the Bichari in people's mind is about heroines in the movie,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
जो ऐसे
Yep.
करते ही they are like हवा चल रही है and she's always wearing a churidar. She's always wearing these oxidized jewelry and churi and this and that. But in real life, no, that doesn't
Yeah.
work, right?
And and she's the woman who will tolerate a man's temper and his like
Yes.
will have the angry young man will be she will be completely okay tolerating his temper tantrums. And I think about like, wait, you know what? Why is this happening in society? And think about how it's considered. It's not really like, oh, these sweetie, sweetie girls are like, I mean, it's more a form of benevolent patriarchy, where society, because it's so intrinsically patriarchal, wants women like that. To the
Obviously, yeah.
advantage of men. It's to the advantage of the patriarchal society that women conform to this Bechari standard, because life is wonderful for men
Right.
when they are married to or in a relationship with a Bechari who will not stand up for herself, who will keep sacrificing, keep giving until she's broken. And what
But
a
she doesn't even
wonderful
know
life
that
that
she's
is.
broken, right? So the expectations or the way you're raised, you're supposed to give it. You're supposed
Yep,
to listening to the elders, your in-laws, your husband. You know, your husband is your god basically, or your in-laws are
absolutely.
like they are your parents, for example.
Hmm.
But really, do we need that?
Yeah, and I think over the years things need to change, right? Like
I mean,
earlier,
over the
and
years,
maybe
when
this
you're
is even
expecting your wife to work,
exactly, you are
then I
expecting your
think
wife to do the things that a man does, but at the same time,
you cannot
take the
enter the
role of that
kitchen.
like backward female, the bichari role. It's just not working out. Like you cannot have both of these things, like, you know.
No, they want a trophy wife who needs to look good, modern, in front of friends, should be able to carry herself really well. But as soon as she comes home, she needs to drop that act and be the best bichari
Sweet
or the
wife.
best wife. Like
Yep.
serve hot food in the plate and give it to him wherever he's sitting, everything in his hand. Take it
Yep.
out of his hand. I don't know. It's
It's hard. It's hard. And unfortunately, even today, like when, for example, this one of my friend was telling me her frustration was that she was having an argument with her husband. And when she went and tried to vent out her frustration, even to her parents were like, Beta, you're a girl. सुन के लेना थोड़ा सा
हाँ.
लड़कियों को सुनना पड़ता है. क्यों भाई लड़कियों को सुनना पड़ता है टुडे women are just as educated, just as hardworking, just as talented. They have to take the role of the working woman, the hardworking woman, the child bearer, the nurturer. And क्यों सुन के ले भाई? What is the reason कि हम सुन के ले? That's
It's
the
with
whole
the
bichari
in-laws too,
attitude.
right? Not only the husband, parents also say like, अरे यार कर लो ना क्या होता है तुम्हें पुण्य मिलेगा
Absolutely.
या फिर they will say it's okay, that's your job, वो तुम्हारा पति है, तुम उनकी देखभाल नहीं करोगे तो किसकी करोगे. बट मुझे
Absolutely.
पैदा तो इसलिए नहीं किया ना मैं किसी की केयरटेकर बनूंगी. और
Absolutely.
मैं झक मार के इतना पढ़ी नहीं हूँ कि मैं किसी की केयरटेकर बनूं. राइट.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like when
Absolutely.
you say no, when you stand up for you're being very logical. Problem is you're providing education which makes women smarter and logical, right? It helps you understand everything, what's right, what's wrong, क्यों ये गलत है, right?
Yep.
Instead of listening and accepting whatever people are saying, and you cannot, because once you're educated, you cannot just be dumb.
Yep.
And then
Absolutely.
people think that no matter what, when the women start being logical and practical and she's like नहीं यार ये तो कैसे हो सकता है, then men are not happy or people are not happy around her कि यार इसका ये तो बहुत चढ़ गई है, she has a lot of attitude that ये तो पढ़ लिया तो क्या हुआ, she is gonna be ये क्या हमें ये करेगी वो करेगी, like all these, like bitch is like a big derogatory term, right? यहाँ
Yep.
पे but और कहीं पे भी, but it just, that's how you're saying, that's how you're looking at her, that's how you are talking about her. Maybe you're not saying bitch, but everything else, the way you're saying it summarizes that's what you're intending, right?
Yep. Anyone who challenges the patriarchy, anyone who stands up for herself, anyone who has the guts to take the stand is considered a bitch. Ab yahi cheez, if a man does it,
तो
exactly
भाई
the things that a woman is
मर्दानगी
called a
है
bitch
वो.
for, he would be considered, wow, what a dynamic person. What a really confident man. He stands up for himself. He gets what he wants. But if a girl does it, she's considered a bitch. She's considered arrogant. She's considered dragon lady. And even at work, right? Like even at work, this is how it is. Like women who are aggressive are considered, oh my god, the boss lady, the boss bitch, the
Yeah,
dragon lady. But if a man does it, he's considered like dynamic and a go-getter and
exactly.
all of that, which
Strength,
is such a
strong,
double
and
standard.
exactly. And also
Such
the
a double
movies.
standard.
अगर हम movies का देखें, Arjun Reddy, right? Preeti character. Um, although I'm opposite to that character, right? Again, it's her choice.
Yep.
And I didn't see her crying about like मेरा पति मारता है, मेरा boyfriend मारता है. नहीं.
Oh,
That was her. I mean, it was her choice, and that's where the next point is mine.
yep.
He, at the end of the day, it's women's choices.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
you wanna be somebody who wants to be a bichari, then stop crying. Drop the act. Don't say मेरी सास ऐसी है, मेरा पति ऐसा है, मेरी माँ ऐसी. नहीं यार, you took
You
it.
need to do it. You need to
Yeah,
do it.
you
Exactly.
accepted it, so it's your choice.
Yep.
If
Yep.
you don't talk about the अरे यार मेरे घर वाले क्या कहेंगे, मेरा पति, कोई कुछ नहीं कहेगा. कहेंगे, वो अभी भी
Absolutely.
कह रहे हैं, कल भी कहेंगे, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And it is, I understand it is going to be difficult to break the cycle,
Yes.
break the generational curse, the generational trauma of it's so easier to fit into a box and just go with the flow and
Victimizing.
be the victim, be the get the accolades for being the bichari. It's so easy to do that. But think about your responsibility towards the future generations. Do you want this vicious cycle to continue? If you have a daughter, would you want your daughter to be that bichari and her daughter after her
And
and
your
so on and so
son, do you
forth?
want your son to treat the women the same way that your husband or your in-laws or whoever is around you is treating you, right?
Exactly.
You cannot.
As a generation of women who have gotten the education, who have learned from the previous generation's mistakes, it's now our turn to break the cycle and
Exactly.
start thinking about okay, it's going to be hard. It's going to be like this was a very, very comfortable position for men. It was a very
This is the
comfortable
time
position
where
for
you have to
patriarchy.
stand up to break that curse, right?
Absolutely.
Or make that change. I mean, nobody's gonna. So in my head, how I think is nobody's gonna give me an award to be a bichari, right?
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna
Exactly.
give me an award to be a bitch.
Yep.
At least, am I living the way I want to?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I am good or bad choices that I'm making, right?
Yep.
I don't want to hurt anyone. At the same time, I don't want anybody to hurt me. That's my
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
So if you disrespect me, don't expect that just because you're 2 years older than me, I'm gonna take that. No,
Yep.
no,
Yep.
that's not me. Or
Yeah.
any however old they are, right? If you're
Right.
older, be smarter than me, be better than me.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
come back and disrespect me. No, you cannot
Yeah.
do that. So it's your
Absolutely.
choice whether you want to stand up for yourself or not. And so you stand up for yourself, you're a bitch. You
Yeah.
don't, you're a bichari. And at least with the bitch, it stops, right? People are
Exactly.
like, hey, she's not going to take it next time. With bichari, it's going to continue.
100%. 100%. Once you stand up for yourself, nobody has the
Yeah,
guts to go and like once you define your boundaries, right? That's why boundaries are so important. Once you define your boundaries, then you yourself don't allow anyone to break those boundaries, to push those boundaries again. And I think these changes don't have to be so radical. You don't have to take up a placard and start like becoming the pura
no,
feminist and go
no.
out there and burn your bra, whatever, you know. You don't have to do those things, but changes start at home. For example, something that me and my husband do, we have talked a lot about something as simple as chores, right? Both he
Yeah,
and I are working individuals. We both work, we both have kids. They're both of our kids. They're not my primary
exactly.
responsibility to take care of. So all of our responsibilities are split halfway down the middle. And
Yes,
we honor those. And the reason we do that is because we realize that both of us have our priorities that are important to us, have a full, thriving career, have things that we need to take care of. And it's just the right thing to do. It's for that mutual
Exactly.
respect that we have for each other, that we say that, okay, we are going to split the chores 50-50. And it's not that I'm glorifying, wow, yaar, my husband is such a fantastic man, he's doing this. No, it's his responsibility to do this.
Yes.
And that's how it should be. We don't need to be like, oh, a father who takes responsibility of the children is just like lovely, he's helping out. He's not helping out. That's his
It's part
job.
of his job. Yes.
Exactly.
It's part of
It
your life.
starts from
You
there.
brought these lives into world. It's not only mom, okay? It's not just sperm that they gave it to us and that then we are the moms and we are done. No, it's a life. And you
Absolutely.
are a dad. There are a lot of things the kids learn from their dads
Yep.
and or the men around them. So
Yep.
be the right kind of man for your own children
Absolutely.
or for people, the kids around you, right? Be the
Love
best
it.
example you can be.
Love it and love it. And children, and that's a really, I think you touched a really powerful point, is that that is how you teach the for future generation, right? Like just
Exactly.
lip service and saying, oh, respect women and treat women equally is not going to do a thing.
No,
Children look at how their families behave, how their mother is treated, and that's how they learn to treat other women. And so it's a
exactly.
big responsibility as a woman yourself, it's a big responsibility on yourself to ensure that you are treated well, because that's how your children will expect to be treated if they're a girl, and expect to treat another person if they're a boy. So it's so critical for you to stand up for yourself, have your boundaries, be the bitch, and do it proudly. You know what I
Exactly. I mean, there is nothing wrong. And these are your choices, right? And nobody
Absolutely.
can, you cannot blame somebody. And that's
Yep.
what, even you become a bitch or a bichari, doesn't matter. Don't blame
Mhm.
somebody. Don't have that victim mentality कि यार इसके इसने किया, इसने बोला, उसने किया. नहीं यार, you are an adult. Stop.
Yeah.
You cannot say, you cannot put the blame on someone
Yeah.
and get away from it. Like, so no, don't put a blame on anyone. Take the responsibility, take the accountability of your own actions, of
Absolutely.
your choices.
Absolutely.
And if that's what you want to be a bichari, then that's fine. Be
Yeah.
that. But don't cry about it.
Then don't cry about it.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. And there is something so like liberating about being okay with being the bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. I love, like, if it's all, up to us now to change the definition of the term. If you think, if you calling me a bitch means I'm an independent, strong woman, alrighty, call
I
me a bitch.
know.
I'm happy with it.
I know
Absolutely.
that's what it is, right? Somebody who's outspoken, somebody who's confident and independent is what a bitch is. So, and
Yep.
that's
Yep.
fine. That's fine. I'll take that over bichari. I think
Absolutely.
for me, bichari is like a, a curse word over the bitch. Sorry to say that, but that's how I feel.
Yep.
I'm like I don't want to be a bichari, and I feel like I'm no less than a man. I'm more than a man.
Absolutely. Yep,
So why should I
absolutely.
be?
And
Why
at the
should I
same
be?
time, and at the same time, like, just because you are someone who stands up for herself and you're confident doesn't mean you have to lose touch with your femininity.
Yes.
Femininity. You can still be feminine, you can still be like a sweet girl, you can still have a soft heart, you can still have your soft side. But the important part is that you, one, define your boundaries, and second, don't allow anyone to violate those
Yes.
boundaries. That's all it is. Still be the wonderful feminine, radiate that feminine energy. Go for it. Live the soft life. Enjoy yourself. Do whatever creativity, beauty, whatever you
Exactly.
need to.
Do whatever you want to because then that's what
Yeah,
defines you, right? You cannot
exactly.
be a Chandni from Chandni movie or Preeti from Arjun Reddy. Like be yourself, right? Whatever you
Absolutely.
feel is right, whatever is
Yeah.
perfect for you, go for it. Okay, we
Yeah.
are at the end of the show. So I think we need to kind of think about what we want to do for
Mhm.
ourselves and our future generations and think about how we're going to change the tide.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
I think we already talked about everything, so I'm not going to go into that. But all right, fam, whether you've been called a bitch, treated like a bichari, or been both at different points in your life, just know this. just know this: you don't owe anyone their comfort at the cost of your power.
Because real strength isn't being quiet or loud, it's being authentic. Whether you're soft spoken or fierce, nurturing or bold, you're allowed to be complex. You're allowed to take up space.
Let's stop letting society weaponize words against us, which maybe that just means, your worth and your Bechari, you're done glamorizing, we are done glamorizing suffering, okay?
So here's our toast to all the women who refuse to shrink, to the ones who speak up, show up, and shake shit up.
You're not too much. You're not difficult. You are not a Bechari. You're not a bitch. You're just real.
And real women, we break labels, not ourselves.
Thanks for turning into this spicy episode of Mirchi and Mocha.
Don't forget to share your thoughts, DM us, tag us, or send us a voice note. Have you ever been called a bitch or for just being yourself? We want to hear it.
Until next time, stay bold, stay beautiful, and as always,
Stay
stay
spicy.
spicy. Okay, bye, guys. Love
Bye.
you.